topic. When Title 42 expires next month, what is the plan for the 18,000 migrants a day that are going to cross? Do you want them to get jobs here? Is there something else that you want these 18,000 a day to be doing?
I don't know where you're basing your specific numbers on, Peter, but what I would tell you...
I've got it right here. Earlier this week, the department gave reporters an estimate that up to 18,000 migrants could be apprehended at the border each day if Title 42 were
Well,
being
up
lifted.
to, and we'll see what happens. And obviously, we're taking steps to convey that this is not the time to come.
Joe Biden has refused to come to the border to see the chaos that he has created by his open border policies. So we're going to take the border to him by transporting the people that he is dropping off in these local communities in the state of Texas and sending them to Washington by plane or by bus. What's happening is there's an increased number of people coming across the border that the federal government, are processing and then letting loose. And what has been happening so far is those people will be getting on buses and going to San Antonio or Houston or other places like that. And so I think they just need longer bus rides.
Last one on this. Now that the Texas governor is saying that he's going to start busing border crossers to Washington, D.C., when they get here, are you guys going to help them find a place to stay and something for them to do?
Well, I'm not aware of what authority the governor would be doing that under. I think it's pretty clear this is a publicity stunt. His own office admits that a migrant would need to voluntarily be transported, and then he can't compel them to because, again, enforcement of our country's immigration laws lies with the federal government, not a state.
Washington, D.C.?
Well, listen, I don't know, but I know that the governor of Texas or any state does not have the legal authority to compel anyone to get on a bus.
There were multiple communities in the Rio Grande Valley that have been in communication with their office asking us to provide buses for them, maybe even planes to provide for them for the movement of these migrants. Listen, these migrants, once they come across, it's not as if they want to stay down there in the Rio Grande Valley. They're moving across the entire country. As they move across the entire country, what better place for them to go to than the steps of the United States Capitol? They get to see the wonderful Capitol, but also get closer to the people who are making these policies that are allowing people to come across the border illegally.
So, Governor, in summary, then, you will make the offer, and it's up to them to say yes or no to get on board that bus.
This has been happening for weeks, if not months now. So we know the process already works. It's just a matter of relocating the drop-off point as opposed to San Antonio or Houston or some other place. As you also know, the Biden administration has been transporting these people across the country. The same principle applies for the Biden administration. They can't be kidnapping people that they've authorized to be in the United States legally. They have to get their permission to move them across the United States also. And so this is something that we know there's high demand for already, and we will be fulfilling that demand by putting these people on buses and planes and taking them to Washington.
In addition, I would note the Department of Homeland Security also put together a preparedness plan to continue addressing irregular migration that involves surging personnel and resources to the border, improving border.
How can you guys say that President Biden was not a close contact with Speaker Pelosi when there is video of the speaker kissing him?
Well, Peter, the way that it is defined is by the Center for Disease Control, the CDC, and their definition of it is 15 minutes of contact within a set period of time and within 6 feet. It did not meet that bar.
State dining room, the president was face-to-face with many individuals right up in their mugs for extended periods of time because he was enjoying this moment, a chance to visit with folks. So for clarity, not everybody in that room was tested in advance of arriving, correct?
Correct.
So some of those people who may have been further back but ultimately had, 5 minutes, we watched for an hour literally, in the room, may not have been with him for 15 minutes but could have been in his face having not been tested for an extended period of time.
Well, again, if individuals are within 6 feet of him for 15 minutes or more, that's considered a close contact. No one in there was. That I'm aware of.
President Biden continued the pause on student loan payments or repayments. He said that pause will provide continued lifeline as we recover and rebuild. Why then is Title 42 going to be relifted? Is there a revision or a revisit that you can look at that? And have we just recovered from the border then? What does that mean?
Let me see if I can unpack a few things in there. Economic recovery, and even though the economy is very strong, look at the UI data from today, look at the jobs data from last Friday, we certainly know that costs are continuing to impact people across the country, including students who have or former students who have student loan payments they need to make. And the president's going to look for every way he can lower costs for the American people. The decision about Title 42 is a decision made by the CDC, a public health decision. It's not an immigration authority or policy. It's a public health decision. And we respect the authority given to them by Congress to make that determination.
Whether if the Republicans should take the Senate in the midterm elections and another vacancy should occur while this president is still in office, whether a Republican-controlled Senate would hold a hearing on another Biden nominee. He refused to answer that question. Do you have a response to that? What do you think it says about the health of our constitutional system?
Certainly, we don't anticipate or predict. I have no prediction of an additional opening, but we would certainly expect and call for all members of the Senate to operate as professionally as the president and our team did in this case, which is ensuring that there was advice and consent.
If I may as well, we've enjoyed your shout-outs to members of your team. I wonder if this means you're now working your notice.
I'm sorry, what?
Whether you're now, is that an American phrase? Whether you're now working your notice?
I think I don't know that it's an American phrase. I love the Britishness and the accent, not to put you on notice of sort. Look, I think it is simply a reflection of my appreciation for the incredible people on my team, that I get to glamorous setups back there. I'm here to confirm that is not the case, but our team works their tails off. There's a lot going on, and it's just simply an effort to recognize that. I have nothing to announce about. Yeah, yes.